is a summary of watches, warnings, and advisories in effect. A high wind warning remains in effect until 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Los Angeles County Mountains, excluding the Santa Monica Range. A wind advisory remains in effect until 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Santa Clarita Valley and Santa Monica Mountains recreational area. A wind advisory remains in effect until 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Ventura County Valleys and San Fernando Valley. A wind advisory remains in effect until 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Los Angeles County Coast, including downtown Los Angeles and Ventura County Coast. A wind advisory remains in effect until 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Ventura County Mountains. You are listening to NOAA weather radio station KWO37, broadcasting on a frequency of 162.55 MHz. The station is operated by the National Weather Service in Oxnard, California, and transmits from a tower on Mount Lukens in the San Gabriel Mountains. This broadcast is also relayed to a transmitter near Sandburg on a frequency of 162.425 MHz. Tsunami advisory is in effect for all coastal areas. Local impacts, a tsunami capable of producing strong currents that may be hazardous to swimmers, boats, and coastal structures is expected. Widespread inundation is not expected. Recommended actions: if you are located in this coastal area, move off the beach and out of harbors and marinas. Do not go to the coast to watch the tsunami. Be alert to instructions from your local emergency officials. Forecast tsunami start times: Port San Luis, California 7:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. Santa Barbara, California 7:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. Los Angeles, California 7:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. Tsunamis often arrive as a series of waves or surges which could be dangerous for many hours after the first wave arrival. The first tsunami wave or surge may not be the highest in the series. Preliminary earthquake information occurred at 8:27 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 14, 2022. A large volcanic eruption occurred near the Tonga Islands. Tide information: Port San Luis, low tide of -0.5 feet at 3:19 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. High tide of 5.7 feet at 7:43 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. Santa Barbara, low tide of -0.7 feet at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. High tide of 5.7 feet at 7:26 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. Santa Monica, low tide of -0.6 feet at 2:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. High tide of 5.7 feet at 7:13 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. Los Angeles Harbor, low tide of -0.6 feet at 2:35 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. High tide of 5.7 feet at 7:07 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. This product will be. Stay tuned to your local news source and NOAA Weather Radio for further information and updates. A high wind